Bum 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 bum. Oh yeah. We're live. Sorry, that was the weird elevator music. Welcome, ladies and gents. How are we all doing? This is the Roundtable Live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today, we're here to talk about Godzilla versus Kong. I'm joined by my esteemed guest, Ellie Moses, who has been on this channel a good few times now. Joining me on these live streams. I'm sure a lot of people probably just clicked on the video and was like, well, yeah, obviously, duh. But we're going to be talking about a little bit more than just this. This is just the vague topic at hand. I want to talk about a fair few bits and pieces and, discuss marketing in general for movies and how, it's fallen and stuff. So please just, FYI, yeah, we might headlines this, but we're talking about a few bits and pieces. And ladies and gents, your favorite doggo's here.
Oh,
Jasper! Literally doesn't care. He's not bothered. He couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. But hey, how you doing, Ellie? How's it going?
oh, it's been a up and down week. The weekend was pretty crap because of got like food poisoning and all that. But trying to pick myself up today, and then what not better way to start the day than being on the round table, positive start.
What not better way? Well, I mean, I can think of other things to do, but never mind.
I just woke up. I just woke up, so it's the first thing I'm doing. So I guess it's a better way to start. It's a great way to start the day for me.
True. So, ladies and gents, whilst we're doing this live stream, and this will be actually available on the channel after the fact as well. But whilst we're doing this live stream today, guys, please don't forget you can support the channel by using the super chat function, and you can also get your question and input answered straight away by using the super chat function. It's a really good way to help support the channel. I have just realized I didn't do one thing in setting up this stream, which was pretty bloody important. So bear with me 2 seconds. First and foremost, I think whilst I'm doing this, let's talk about the marketing. Just again, broad stroke this. Do you think the marketing's been good thus far?
It started off well. And now it's getting into very heavy spoiler territory. Like, even though they are revealing a few seconds of shots here and there, you've been able to start to piece together the points of the plot and whether characters survive certain situations or spoiling certain surprise abilities of certain titans or certain surprise attacks or how certain titans are transported. I'm not going to say what they are because I know some people from this chat have been on my streams and they're like, they've stopped watching them, so I don't want to spoil it for them. But
I've had so many people just bombard me on Twitter going, review this. I'm like, I've stopped for some time now. I've stopped reviewing them.
Even one of the I don't know if this is very like spoiler, even one of the shots you reviewed in one of the TV spots of Kong and Godzilla roaring on one another. One of the TV spots spoilers how they got into that certain situation, so I'm not going to say what it was. But
this goes on to the other topic, right? Is that headlines? People have been writing headlines about them, and I get it, right? Like, I get it because I've done videos where I will discuss, a TV spot, and I will put in the topic of the video headline, a bit of the content of the TV spot, and I get it, like it. You're more than welcome to do it because it's out there, so it's out there available to do. But I tell you what, coming from a perspective of not wanting to see it, reading some of these headlines, boy, am I getting annoyed because I'm just like, I didn't want to know that.
They come up in your recommended when you're just on YouTube because you've watched them from before, and it's just like, oh, so this Titan does this TV spot, and it's just
you're like, cheers, cheers, mate.
And the thumbnail would be that image as well. And it's just like, oh,
yeah, exactly. So look, at the end of the day, I love the marketing. Like I think the marketing that it had initially put out was really strong. And like, of course it was really strong. Like the views have been knockout.
The reactions, even Adam Wingard posted on his YouTube channel a compilation of his favorite reactions from people.
That's good.
Yeah.
He did that for Mortal Kombat as well. Which is a good way of doing it.
It was amazing. I've been going back and rewatching reactions from different channels over the last week. From like, I've just been scrolling through and watching different ones I've never seen, and the hype is real. And the thing that bothers me, it's just the official trailer for the film. We've been asking for a year for it. Came out 2 months before the actual film release. And usually you say standard marketing is 6 months, but this is 2 months prior, and it's coming out on streaming and theaters. And the fact that they released the trailer 2 months before didn't, and with the hype it got, it's now on like 66 million views or 65. You do not need to release another trailer. Maybe one more final trailer a week before, just to get the hype ramped up, to remind people, a couple more TV spots, but not constantly a TV spot every second day now, or every day, where it's just like to the point. Like I said, I remember I told you, I'm like, it wouldn't surprise me if they reveal Mecha G in one of these TV spots. Like, I'm not nervous. Like,
God.
And the title will be Mecha Godzilla revealed, and it's just like, oh, come on.
I know. So here's what's like. Here's really important to note, right? Like, I know the spoilers for this movie. Like, I know what happens in this film, right? Like, I know bits and pieces that happen, and I think knowing those things, like reading it, is fine. Like, I never care about knowing spoilers, because to me, it's in the art of how it is portrayed and executed in a film. So for me, knowing any spoilers to any movie, I really don't care. Like, I'm not bothered about it, generally speaking. Like, I'm happy to read spoiler leaks and things like this, because I always think the fun part of it is actually the execution.
Seeing it pan out on screen.
Yeah. So for me, like, I know what happens, and I was unfazed by it. But it's when they reveal how it's executed, I'm like, you motherfuckers! Like, don't show me that. I don't want to. Because I can read it and I can piece it together in my head, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can see this happening, and obviously, I got my own interpretation of how it's going to pan out in my head, and I like to wait until it's actually there in the overall movie and in the context of each scene. But they've shown the whole bloody boat scene now. That's
with the IGN
fan fest. Well. Yeah, what was that about? I mean, it looked good. It was great. There was a little man floating away.
Yeah, but you can sort of like piece together how that scene pans out now, then what happens after that with some of the TV spots that revealed. And even there was one you reacted to, I didn't even know. Like, I know a couple spoilers about the film, but there was one I didn't know about, and it was the one with Kong with the throwing the tree branch at sort of the hex force field thing. And I didn't know Skull Island was like a sort of design thing. I had no idea about that.
Yeah. So it's it's a bloody shame. It really, really is. Not cool. Max Marley says, witnessing is believing. It's all about the experience. Yeah, I completely agree, man. So let's take this opportunity. Let's ask the chat. And again, guys, if you want your comment to be read out immediately, again, super chats, great way to help the channel out. Really, really good way to interact as well. It quite literally keeps the lights on, because YouTube sucks donkey dong. But what do you guys think? Let me ask you all, what do you guys actually think about the marketing in general? Just first and foremost, do you think like each trailer has been good? So not what you're seeing, but do you think each trailer has been good? I think that's what I want to get through first, I think. Orange Hat Reviews drops in and says, I've been a fan of these two monsters since I was 3. And while I love seeing them, I'm screaming in my head, save some for the movie. Yes. It's all about that execution for me. I agree. Yeah, like save some of those reveals for the movie. Marshmallow for £5, thanks so much, says, just an FYI, I'm trying to have selective amnesia before this film gets released, so I can enjoy without knowing anything prior to it. Yeah. Jasper's getting selective amnesia. Oh, mate. Yeah, good. He said he's fine, everyone. He's good. Imperial Lumpia. I always say Lumpia, but is it Lumpia? Doesn't sound right if it's Lumpia. Hail all. I personally would have been fine with just 2 trailers and maybe the 40-second full scene they released of the Godzilla attack. Yes.
I don't mind the 40-second scene.
But that's what I mean, right? Like, wouldn't that be good to do? So have your first trailer, get that hype, get that like 50 whatever it was million views that they've had. I don't know. They've had a great amount of views, haven't they? So get that, and then do the IGN Fan Fest. So that 40-second clip, have nothing in between. Have that, because that's in that clip is in the first trailer anyway. And then the second trailer, just have a little bit more of what they've revealed in some of the other
Yes.
spots, plus a little bit more of the reworked footage in the first trailer, and then call it trailer 2.
Yeah.
You know, and have it released, I don't know, 2 weeks out before it's supposed to premiere.
Yeah, like
that would be great.
A final trailer. Like you can have maybe Total Film, for instance, release their images from the film as well as part of their magazine, monthly thing, whatever.
Oh my God, they revealed way too much. The
thing is,
why did they reveal that? Fuck.
Yeah, they revealed a lot, and the thing is, although they're revealing like single images in magazines, their images
Clown
I
World,
would
ladies
like
and gents. We've got Clown World. This is revealing the whole movie. that is merchandise is actually available. There's a link in the description box. The Clown World merch. Go and check it out. I'm not joking. Like it's legit though. Yeah, it's just like, why the set visits?
Although they're just like, wouldn't you want to keep that under wraps and as a secret instead of someone just like, oh, there was this massive head and it was lit up luminous, and it's just like, save that for the film. You're describing everything. It's just like, and
they just revealed it all, didn't they? Literally, there's a massive skull and there's wires going into it and it's a control room. Oh well, great. Thanks very much.
Have you seen one of the Total Film shots? It does kind of spoil one of those shots as well.
Yeah, with the teeth.
Yeah, the teeth, like a Jurassic Park-esque shot. And it's just like...
It wouldn't have spoiled it, right?
If it wasn't
if the set visits hadn't revealed what it was. If the set visits hadn't... And this is what I mean. They need to knuckle down on what they're allowing out.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't say what was on the set visits, if they didn't reveal that, and they didn't reveal that they had actively watched Millie Bobby Brown, Brian Tyree Henry,
Julian Dennison,
Julian Dennison running around, we wouldn't have known what that scene actually is that still is pertaining to. But they released that still, and I'm like, well, I know what that is.
Because you've explained the whole scene in depth now.
Because you've literally told me. Such a shame. Yeah, that is trash.
Because the thing that bothers me is that they released the first trailer, and obviously everyone was hyped for it. And then a week later, they released the Instagram one. Remember that one? It was like a different aspect ratio. A week later, already new footage. A week later, you didn't even look.
I know.
Just like, here we go again. And then I remember we were discussing this off stream. We're like, surely not.
Yeah, well, I was sending you some Twitter messages. Yeah. I was like, I bet this is this. You're like, no. I'm like, they're doing too much now.
And I was like, H, remember, they're a month and a bit away. It wouldn't surprise me if they start dropping TV spots by the second. Lo and behold, it's just like...
And I was like, I hope not. There we go. It's just everywhere.
The thing is, doesn't... I can read that.
I was just saying, Pistol Pete 79 says, yes, I've been waiting 36 years for this, and I'm 41. But keep that sort of I guess childlike hype for it. That's great. Like people are always like, oh, you just you're excited for giant monsters. Damn right, I'm excited for giant monsters. I don't give a fuck. Giant monsters all day, every day. I don't care. I'm down. Giant epic. I'm cool. I'm a big kid. I couldn't give a shit. Why?
I get excited over the most stupid things.
It's good. It's good to retain that immaturity.
Yeah.
Marshmallow for £5 says the US and Japanese trailer are awesome, and some of the TV spots were great, but there's teasing, whetting my appetite, then there's blowing your load. You're completely right. And actually, you raise a good point there, dude. Is that the Japanese trailer was actually really good because. Yes. If they had actually just released those two, that would have been equally as fine, because the first trailer was shown from the US trailer was shown from Kong's perspective more.
Yes.
Japanese trailer was shown more from Godzilla's perspective, but it's basically the same trailer with just a few seconds more footage. Yeah, that would have been perfect. Just that.
It's just to show Godzilla's perspective a bit more. So a few shots here and there. And it was just extended scenes from the boat scene, which we'd already seen. So it was nothing too spoiler-heavy territory.
Yeah.
Like, we'd already seen a lot of that scene anyway. That was what the trailer was mainly focused on, the first one anyway.
Yeah. Marcos A, thank you so much. And thank you so much, everyone, guys. Jasper has graced us with his presence. Hail the round table. Mr. H and Ellie, hello. Hello. I have avoided all new trailers since your last review. So have I. That's why I've not done any more reviews. So you're in good company. You're in good company, dude. Dan Tucker, patron of the channel. I was just glad they showed Godzilla step on Kong. First trailer made Godzilla look like a punk. Yeah, I still understand why. I do understand why. And also, that's somewhat of a spoiler for one of the trailers.
Yeah, there we go. I rushed over it.
Yeah, I know. Gregory Stockton, I don't blame them for showing too much because Warner Brothers and Legendary have been harassed for more than a year for a trailer. Well, so this goes on to the interesting discussion, which we'll touch on in a little bit, is are they doing it because of fans? And will they ultimately hurt themselves because of those fans? Which we'll touch on in a minute. So hold that thought. I've got to get to a few more super chats first. Comrade Commissar Yuri, they're showing far too much too soon. Wrong use of show, don't tell. Yeah. It's just too much too soon. But again, I go back to the set visits. The set visits, they shouldn't have allowed them to reveal any of that stuff. That was far too much stuff.
Maybe after the film comes out, it's just like, oh, this cool,
of course.
Yeah.
Well, on a set visit, you're selectively shown stuff. So they just should have been shown different things, basically. Imperial Olympia, I would have kept the second final trailer focused on Kong struggling. Play up the emotional attachment to Kong. Yes. Yeah, so have that as the second one, which pairs nicely with the first one, but then maybe just show a Japanese one from Godzilla's perspective a bit more. That would have, evened itself out quite nicely.
Yeah.
Stefan Bowley, I think, if I butchered that, I'm sorry. The boat scene, is supposed to be 18 minutes long, so plenty of footage left to see. Well, so when they say the boat scene, that would be the entirety of that scene. So that's the boats moving along. It's a little bit of Godzilla turning up, a little bit of tension. That's not an 18-minute long fight. So
it's just scored for the whole 18 minutes. It could be character interactions as well, like walking on the boat, looking at Kong. Yeah.
Well, we've seen a lot of the boat scenes because there's day and night. So the boat scene is day, night. It's everything. It's quite a protracted.
It's a big part of the film. It's probably like one of the opening start of the film.
But the fight itself is not going to be that long. I don't think so anyway. Valid point. Maybe Warner Brothers is getting cold feet. Not so much Warner Brothers. They're just the distributors. It's Legendary. Legendary are the ones that have been releasing these things. So it's not actually Warner Brothers. Yo, mate, what are you doing?
I was thinking to myself, does Adam Wingard have any say for what is released, or it's just all completely Legendary?
No, directors don't have any say.
Okay.
They don't have any say creatively on any trailers or anything like that. Thank you so much, everyone, joining me. We've got 334 people here. Smash that like button. Thank you so much for spending your midweek with me. It's Wednesday for most places anyway. So let's talk about it then. Let's talk about it, ladies and gents. Let's talk about whether it is the fans that have done it. Did the fans do this? Because ultimately, they've been banging on about this for years, which is fine, good. Be hyped, be excited. But equally so, when any rumor has come out, not from Legendary, because Legendary have never said when a trailer was dropping. They have never said it. It's always been YouTubers that have clickbaited the fans. They've said, yep, the trailer's coming out, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. And then we get all the fans afterwards going, well, fuck Legendary then. Fuck them. I'm gonna download it illegally. Fuck Legendary. Fuck Godzilla versus Kong. They owe us. It's like, they didn't say they did. Wait. They didn't say they were releasing a trailer. What are you talking about, bro? But do you think it's that level of sort of entitlement that some of these people have had? Bearing in mind that is a sense of entitlement, that sort of attitude, going, well, I'm just going to download it illegally. Then it's like, what? If they promised you a trailer and then they didn't give you a trailer, definitely be annoyed. But that kind of attitude is very, very strange.
Like people I was like saying people need to understand the situation Legendary and Warner Brothers were put in. Like the film was slated to come out a year ago in March. It was March 12 actually, and it was probably the worst period to release that film with what was going on in the world. And then obviously it was delayed to November, and then the situations didn't get better. And I think Legendary and Warner Brothers have the interest of the fans in heart because they know this is a film to see in theaters. So they obviously want to get a theatrical release as well with it.
Well,
so I think
Legendary do. Warner Brothers don't care
Legendary.
so much.
But I think it's bit of selfishness from the fans to think, oh, we deserve a trailer. We have the right to see a trailer. Like, mate, you don't know how much effort is probably gone into this film. They're trying to provide the best release for it to provide the most hype for it, I guess, and generate the most hype for it. So they're trying to find the right time to release it. Yes, we were disappointed when the film kept getting delayed, but it was arguably for the better. And if anything, look at the hype the first trailer received. So I think there is a sense of entitlement there with some of the fans saying, oh, we deserve a trailer. And I remember that 2-second footage with the like not rendered CGI of the boat of the aircraft carrier. Like, we were hyped just seeing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, that was that leaked part, wasn't it?
That was from the, I think, Fan Fest in Brazil, or the
CCXP, I think it was.
Yeah. So it's just, there is a sense of entitlement there, as you were saying. Oh, I'm not gonna buy it anymore. I'm just gonna stream it illegally.
Well, yeah, I mean, how much of a fan are you if they didn't give you the trailer that they never promised you? Because they didn't. They've never promised a trailer. You then going to suddenly turn around and go, well, I'm just going to download it illegally.
Yeah.
Not exactly that much of a fan. You just sound like sound like a bit of a dick, really, don't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a very interesting sort of dynamic that some of these people have.
Yeah.
What was this? Marshmallow says... PAG, participation award generation, yeah, I'll agree with that. It is that sense of entitlement, that sort of attitude, and I do think you got some weird noises in your background.
Yeah,
you really do. What is that?
Ghetto land. It's the birds. Yeah, it's birds. I'm not joking.
You have ghetto birds.
Yeah, it's ghetto birds.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome to Australia.
I've been to Australia, mate. I'm aware. So yeah, I do think let me just move my hand from my doggo. I do think the sort of response that, because the Legendary are not idiots, because they have gone on Twitter and made oh, hey, we know you're excited for this, we know you're looking forward to this, blah blah blah. They have made comments on stuff like that. They are aware. I think I think that they would be aware of, fans, I say, massive entitlement, having that sort of attitude. But I will say this, I don't think it's actually linked to them releasing so much, because they did it on King of the Monsters.
Yeah, was there that sense of entitlement with King of the Monsters? Because I don't think so, because the trailer was dropped a year before, the first teaser trailer. Remember they dropped it a year before? So
yeah, well, it was a whole year before, which is just ridiculous.
That was... I think we'll get to that before.
It's just unbelievable.
That was...
I don't understand why they did that. That was so strange. They did it a whole year before. Then there was nothing for ages,
and then they just slammed the whole.
And then they just I had a good time with the film and everything like that. But they did show an awful lot.
Yeah.
That was so, what an odd decision. They make the weirdest marketing choices. Legendary, because standard marketing. Guys, if you didn't know, standard marketing is just like 6 months. It's 6 months before it's released. That's what it is. And because they didn't know when they were actually releasing it, because they kept juggling it and moving it because coronavirus and delays and whatever. They didn't release one in time, and then obviously now we had to get this one. Was it like a month and a half before, something like that? 2 months before. A whole year before. They need to get someone new on their marketing department.
But that's the thing
that is dog shit.
That's the thing that bothers me. You look at the marketing sort of journey of King of the Monsters, and you look at Godzilla vs Kong now. It's basically sort of the same volume in a shorter period. Yeah. In a shorter period, it's 2 months, and I'm just like, there's no need. Surely Legendary Warner Brothers had a plan. All right, we're going to release this official trailer, maybe the Japanese one. And then a second trailer a couple weeks before the film, a final trailer that's not going to spoil too much, and then maybe a couple TV spots during the week before leading up, just to sort of generate that hype, remind people it's coming out on streaming and TV, and then that's it. Because it's only 2 months. If you think about it, 2 months will fly by. Like the film is getting closer now. It's less than a month away, and in Australia we're having an advanced screening, I think, as well. So a couple days before. So it's just like there's no need. Especially 2 months before, and it's coming out on streaming and theater. So the benefit of that, you don't need to market it as much because it's all over online now as well.
It's just there, isn't it? Like, you don't need to market it that much. I mean,
yeah,
you've got everyone on board from the trailer.
66 million views. That it says it enough.
Wow.
Like, obviously, I don't know who the marketing people at Legendary are, but if you see that much hype already for that film, surely you don't need to release that many trailers. Like, maybe they saw, there's not much hype anymore because of Mortal Kombat. Let's keep dropping more trailers to remind people. You don't need to remind people. We're smart. We know it's coming out. Like,
I can't put my finger on what it is, to be honest, because you say that and I'm like, they can't be that dumb. They can't be that dumb.
Yeah, exactly. And the stuff they're choosing to release as well are really spoiler heavy shots. It's just like, although I'm seeing them sometimes on my phone or my computer, it's just a smaller device, obviously, than what we're obviously going to see it on. It's just still like, save those fantastic, cool shots for the film. They do look fantastic. I'm not going to lie. Like,
well, that's the thing, right? Everything I'm seeing, I'm like, this is amazing. But I'm like, well, exactly. I want to see this on, like, you know, in context. I want to see it, and I want to be wowed in the context of the scene with you know, with its initial intention. And I think that's what bugs me anyway. So, like, I think now best to, you know, have the sort of discussion about whether. Oh no, I just froze. Then I've got to keep readjusting this.
It's all good.
I think now it's let's have the discussion. Do you think it's going to hurt it? And before you answer, let's get everyone in the chat. Do you think it's going to hurt the film ultimately? Because the film got mad views, mad trailer views. It's releasing on HBO Max and then in theaters as well for a limited time. Obviously, not every theatre in the world is open. UK is not going to be open. I have to get a VPN to watch this thing. Do you think it's going to hurt it, ladies and gents? And again, drop it down below. We've got Keith McMillan. Let me have a look. Keith McMillan saying maybe. And if you've got a longer point that you want us to discuss, super chat, ladies and gents, super chat. It could be a massive troll. How many times have you seen a trailer that has scenes that aren't in the film at all? Not with Legendary.
These are fully rendered.
Not with Legendary.
Like
everything from Legendary's films, those trailers, everything's always in the film.
If you go back and look at the King of the Monsters final TV spots, if you haven't seen King of the Monsters, I'm going to spoil it here. Like, some of the final shots revealed basically the third act and how Godzilla gets the upper hand on Ghidorah, and then one of the final shots actually was. It's one of the last few seconds of the film. They actually revealed in a trailer of Godzilla turning to the other Titans before they all bow to him. And it's just like they're revealing a lot. And I can see from some of the trailers in this one where some of the shots are in daylight, and it's obviously after the Hong Kong battle. So I'm just like, this is probably one of the third act shots. And I'm just like, I know it's going to be in the later part of the film. So I'm just like, careful.
So let's get everyone's response first, because that's an interesting point, and I want to explore that in a second. Oh, yeah, my dog's moving. He's literally just been falling asleep on me. Sorry. The movie doesn't have Brie Larson, so that is already an A++. Yeah. I think the reason why GVK will be shorter than King of the Monsters is because it doesn't have as much ground cover. True. I think it will. I don't think so. It seems pretty split. A lot of people are like, yeah, no, maybe.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty close, to be honest. It is pretty close. We got a super chat from Uria, I think, Faber. Sorry if I butchered that. I hate butchering names, and I always apologize. So genuinely, it is sincere. Do you think Mech G is the main villain? I feel G and K can take him out easily if they do team up. If the film does well, will G and K share the screen again? I think he's the end villain, basically. And yeah, I do think that they'll take him out easily. But they're going to introduce him at the end whilst they're in a weakened state, I would imagine.
Yeah,
so
that's what the spoiler said.
Yeah, so it's that sort of like, well, yeah, but also no, because they're setting it up in a way which does make sense. Like in a film sense, it makes sense what they're doing narratively speaking. Yeah. And if the film does well, will Godzilla and Kong share the screen again? Yeah, I mean, it's money, isn't it? Kong is in the public domain. That version of Kong it's theirs to use. Like it's not someone that they don't have to pay the rights to. Like Kong is a public domain character. I know there's lots of people which will dispute it, but you're talking about the semantics of the rights of like a book and things like that. But Kong being a giant ape is public domain.
And Kong is the highest grossing MonsterVerse film.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
say whatever you like, it is.
Yeah, yeah. And I always say this, like I say, Kong is better.
Marketing
Americans
wise,
prefer Kong because
Western.
that's the evidence seems to indicate that. So yeah, I think that they would share the screen again. And we've got another quick super chat from Orange Hat Reviews. Says, yes, I am thinking it will hurt the film because they did this with King of the Monsters and that movie failed due to that. I don't think it failed due to that because I don't think it failed. Like opening weekend, opening weekend was strong. It was a strong opening weekend. People were happy with it. It had good reviews from those that really liked it. Like it had good reviews from sort of normies. I would say it had middling to negative reviews. But I don't think it failed due to an overexposure of marketing, because otherwise, I don't personally think it failed due to an overexposure of marketing. I think it failed just because it didn't resonate with people. Because a movie can have crap marketing, but then good word of mouth. Ultimately, it didn't resonate with people, so it didn't have strong word of mouth. Ultimately, people didn't think it was as good a film as I did. That's the end result, exactly. I would say.
But I remember with King of the Monsters, there was a sort of embargo lifted a few days before as well, and a lot of people were calling the film trash. That hurts a bit of word of mouth, and I know it's hurt a bit of word of mouth in the past with other films. When a film lifts the embargo too early, and you see those reviews start to come out, and I remember like The Guardian in Australia released an article saying it was like a 2 out of 5, and it does hurt it. When people read, they're like, "Oh, I'm not going to see this. Then just throw it away."
Yeah, I'll give you that. But so here's an interesting question, and interesting for everyone else, right? So because they've done a lot of interviews, right? They've done a lot of interviews. The director has come out and said a lot of stuff. They've said, no, don't worry. We've got an epic, full-blown daylight fight scene at, X, Y, and Z. This scene's super long. We're doing this, and this. Blah, 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 blah. Revealing quite a lot of context around narrative elements of the film. Is that what hurts the trailers? Because if you just saw the trailers and you didn't have the context behind it, would you think it's a spoiler? You wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't know it's a spoiler. You wouldn't be able to go, oh, well, that's the end scene then. Exactly. Oh, that could be any time in the movie, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So do you think it's that over willingness to share?
It's the same with
like the set visits, for instance.
What you said before, the set visits, like you see that in the trailer, like bang, that's it. I know what that is. I know what that shot is. Even it wasn't even the trailer. The one shot they revealed from Total Film, you're like, that's right. I know where they are. But because of that context they revealed behind it, because of the set visits, and it was a really detailed explanation of what they revealed and what they saw as well. It basically provided a whole backstory into how it's going to work. It's just
mega spoiler. You know how they've done it now.
The whole mechanics behind it as well.
I mean, it's cool, but I didn't want that revealed.
Yeah,
I didn't want that revealed in there. That's something which I would. Yeah. So, but what do you guys think? In the chat, do you think it's because obviously a lot of you guys would have been watching my videos on this? We'll be talking about it together. Lots of thoughts and theories. A lot of people would have even come for the spoiler video, for the plot and things like that. And then do you think because you know all of those things and then you see the footage being shown, is that the point at which it becomes a fully sort of contextualized spoiler? Because you can know the context behind it, but until you see it and it's there in action, how it's executed, I think that's where the spoiler lies. I think that's what's off-putting to me. Like I said at the start, I'm happy to know all of this stuff. I just don't want to see it. In fairness, I didn't really know about the Mecha G situation that they fucking revealed in the bloody fucking set visits. I'm pissed about that. I really am. Kevbot says no, but it'll hurt the experience. I still hurt over the spoiler of Ghidorah biting the generators and spewing lightning from its body in King of the Monsters trailer. Would have loved to have been surprised. Yeah. It's it's the experience, right? So obviously I think this is pertaining to some of the earlier stuff. It's the experience. So it's how you see it, where you're first experiencing the scene in context. And if it's in a trailer and then you see a little bit more in a movie, it doesn't quite have the same impact. So I get that. I do get that. Imperial Lumpia says, partly agree. While I don't get to guess the scene location, the TV spots are kind of spoiling the 5 to 6 minute long. Yeah. The 5 to 6 minute long full GVK fight scene. I'd say it's pretty much spoiled now. Yeah. Like you can see the axe in the building, right? So you put 2 and 2 together.
Oh, there's another TV spot that reveals something else with the axe as well, but I'm not going to say what it was.
Fuck me.
I'm not going to say what it was, but it's just like, the thing is, I agree with the previous super chat, but like with the sayings, like, I don't think it will hurt the success of the film because, as I said, for 2 months prior to coming out on streaming and theaters, the hype is already there. But I do agree it will, it might hinder the experience because, as I said before, because of these TV spots and trailers, you're starting to piece together pieces of the puzzle and where certain elements go within the film, and it's just
when you get this one here, look, spoiling 5 to 6 minute long full.
If you've seen most of the TV spots, and I know a lot of people will say, "Well, don't watch them." Well, I'm not going to lie. Curiosity has got the better of me, and I have watched them. That's my problem. That's my prerogative. I've chosen to watch them.
It needs to go to TA, Trailers Anonymous. He's got this trailer addiction. By the sounds of it.
But it's just like you start watching these trailers, and then when you get to the film, you're just like, oh, I know what's going to happen next. Oh, I'm waiting for this shot. This shot's going to happen. Oh, this is that scene in the Hong Kong fight. He's going to do this move now because you haven't seen it yet. It's just like, I'm not saying because I'm trying to not spoil it for the chat, and hopefully the chat has some etiquette as well, not to spoil it for other people. But it's just like, I know, basically, if you've seen the TV spots. But the thing is, these TV spots have been getting a lot of views as well, like 1 million.
Yeah, I know.
Like, people are watching them. They don't care. They're just hyped for the movie. Like,
well, exactly. So again, it's whether it's going to hurt it or not. Yeah. That's the thing. Is it because people are just so starved of content that they're so hyped that they just want to see it?
It's like, give me more.
So don't make any mistake, guys. Like, we're not sitting here just like, I'm not complaining about it specifically. It's more just like, just objectively discussing it. Is it going to cause a problem? Is it this? Is it that? I mean, I have my own personal opinions on it, which you've heard. I'm really surprised they're showing so much. But that's more because I don't want it to hurt the film. Like, I want it to be a success.
Yeah.
Got another quick super chat here. I'm just going to call you Faber from now on because I don't want to insult your first name.
I think it is.
What did you say? What?
I think it's Uriah Faber.
Uriah. There you go.
Uriah, because it's similar to like a UFC fighter name, but I don't know if that's right.
We're going to do that then. Uriah. Mothra ? Since they showed the egg in King of the Monsters, or Rodan? I don't think so because they've got to pay. They've got to pay to use them. So I don't think that they will, and I think it'd be too busy. Personally, the Asian Collection. Hello, Mr. H. Well, hello. Assume almost Alita, Battle Angel, Avatar.
Hey, respect.
That's a good movie, though. I like that movie. Yeah, mate. What are you doing, bro? Right. Birdboy82, member of the channel. I've got memberships open now, guys. If you want to be a member, please become a member. I've actually just figured out you'll know this actually. I've got a new game ready to go. It's called Observation. That's a weird sci-fi game I've never even heard of. I was like, this looks fucking epic.
Interesting to try new things. That's going to be epic then.
Yeah. Hello, H and Ellie. To me, Godzilla 2014 Comic-Con teaser is a good way how to build hype and not spoil too much. Wish they went this route with GVK and stopped there. So the interesting one about the Comic-Con teaser is it had a stand-in monster. It had that weird little like centipede, the millipede monster. And obviously that was never in the movie because it was just a stand-in. They didn't even know at that point what they were going to have in the movie monster-wise.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating, really. You could do a something similar-ish, but not quite as bait and switch. But yeah. Loco Madman, Mr. H. That's why I set an alarm to tune in. I had to find out how you can dissect each trailer and then get upset that the movie is spoiled. No, I've stopped. Actually, there's been a lot of trailers that have come out now, which I've stopped. I haven't taken a look at. And I'm not getting upset specifically either. It's objectively discussing it. The art of debate around something. So Isaac the Dragonborn, great name. Too many people say don't watch the trailers when they should say stop overdoing the trailers. We need more surprises, not less. Yes. So you can. That's the thing as well, right? Like you can have as many trailers as they've had. They can just change what they're putting in them.
Like they have proven they can make a good trailer. Like they can. I remember the first King of the Monsters official trailer, like, or it was just like they didn't reveal too much in terms of how the monsters look like. I remember they sort of had him in shadow. The first shot of Ghidorah, I remember, was in the clouds, and you didn't see his full picture because it was just like, I think it was the ship overlooking Ghidorah in the clouds, and that's how they revealed it. It was wings spreading. I'm just like, that's perfect. That's how you reveal it. You haven't shown the monster in his glory. You've seen the shadow. You're like, I know that's Ghidorah, but
and there was one head looking in through the window as well at mid.
Yes. That was even, and then they just blew their load with the other trailers, just showcasing the whole joint, like everyone what they look like.
It seems to be what they do. They like to they show great teasers, and then I don't know whether they get cold feet and they're like, oh, we've got to just show a lot more now. We just got to show more. Loco Madman says, I'd love to see a trailer for your film. It's on the channel. Where have you been? Turn your notifications on. Don't know what to say to you, mate. The trailer's been on the channel for quite some time. Mr. H, the only thing I know of it is that it's something along the lines of Conan versus Cthulhu. No, actually. No. Fantasy horror film. Lovecraftian elements. So not Conan versus Cthulhu. Different, but yeah, broad stroke concept, I guess you could say. But yeah, no, the trailer for my film has actually been on the channel for a long time. Uriah. There you go. It's Uriah.
Yeah, didn't I say Uriah?
I don't know, but he's saying it now, so I'm going to say it's Uriah. You're good though, bro. Love the channel. Thank you so much. I'm glad you took it the way it was intended. It wasn't meant to be rude. I would genuinely never do that to anyone. Yeah. Observation when you're wasted. Is it not good to? Is it not good to play when you're drunk? What is it? Is it? I don't know. Anyway, that's the new game for members, by the way, ladies and gents. So yeah, it'll be a very interesting play of events to kind of see how this comes out and whether people are as excited, you know, whether that hype for the trailers, and I really hope it does, that hype for the trailers crosses over into purchases, I guess you could say, for the film.
Yes.
Jack here says some studios don't care overhyping or revealing too much in a trailer because the audience have already decided to go to watch it or paid to watch it. It's a marketing tactic. So studios will always say that they've got the money of the fans. That's what they'll always say. And it's true. That's why when people are like, well, there's loads of people that love Predator, it's like, well, actually, there's not. Or there's loads of people that love Terminator. Well, actually, there's not. Because they always have the fans' money. And the fans go and watch it. And there's not that much, you know, support for those things. So, you know, it's the wider audience that they need to get the money. It may
seem like there's a bigger audience because of how much like fandom talk there is, but that's because you're involved with that particular fandom. It's all about getting the attention of the wider audience. That's why the Predator didn't do well. Like the hardcore Predator fans saw it, but then the attention of the wider audience, there wasn't much hype for it.
It tuned out. And the same with what was another one? Terminator Dark Fate. They had the Terminator fans money. Also, a lot of people tuned out because they were like, fuck this sounds like garbage. So yeah, like but you are right. You know, studios, it's not that they don't care, it's that they think that they've got the fans' money already. It's them overhyping it to try and I don't even know if it's overhyping it really. They're just trying to get normies money. Marshmallow says, side note, Conan versus Cthulhu sounds awesome. Yeah, it does actually. That does sound good, to be fair. But yeah, like what's this? What? It's not that you can't stop watching theatre trailers and TV spots. Is that you're obsessed with GVK with all the new images and footages. They got you by the balls, squeezing tightly. Yeah, true.
They have got me. I keep watching them, so it's just like every day I wake up to see a new one that just released a couple of hours ago. Oh, let me watch it. It's just like curiosity gets the better of me because I'm so hyped for the film. I just want to see more. It's like I want to release tomorrow, but Yeah.
Well, that's the thing though as well. Like, it's the headlines. So I go to like I don't know, like a normal like comic, movie whatever website, and the bloody headline is like, "Oh, Godzilla vs Kong TV spot reveals how Monarch manages to take blah blah blah," and I'm like, "You son of a bitch." I've been avoiding these. Don't tell me that. Like, I can't even get away from it in a headline. You mofo. So who do you guys want to win? I don't know if you ever said it. I have, but I'm going to let you answer that whilst I take a drink.
Oh, okay. I want Godzilla
and I
win.
Mute my.
I want. I've taken over the round table. Let's go. I want Godzilla to win. Even though my favorite MonsterVerse movie is Kong Skull Island, because I feel like that's the best in terms of CGI and the fight scene, in terms of how they showed it in broad daylight and some of the cinematography. I do want Godzilla to win. I am definitely Team Godzilla. I know the first trailer caught me off guard with how they portrayed Godzilla, and I was just like, oh wow, they're definitely rooting for Kong. And if you look at it, I'm getting sick and tired of these TV spots because of one thing, and that's Alexander Skarsgård constantly saying, "We need Kong, the world needs him," and every TV spot has that one quote in it. But I am Team Godzilla, definitely. I want the big G man to win. I've been on board with him for ages, and it's just like, why is humanity turning its back on him when he's saved you countless times? It's just like, surely there's something up. It's just like,
yeah. So I want I want Godzilla to win personally. Yeah. I think it would be dumb. So they're setting it up really nicely that Kong, you want Kong to win, because your anthropomorphize on him. He's got emotion that you can see. They're really setting him up as a very humanized monster. So you want him to win, obviously, because of that emotional sort of heartstring pulls that they're doing. However, I want Godzilla to win because he should win.
Yeah,
of course he should win. It's like massive.
They've definitely powered up Kong, or it's sort of like, it's like Kong is basically like you're the protagonist in a video game trying to get your level ups and power ups, and before you take on the final boss, obviously with the axe and everything.
Hey, you just do some cheat codes.
Yeah, exactly. Because we've seen the abilities of Godzilla. It's just like, oh, he can clown Kong easy with that. It's just like, take him on easily with that. It's just like they have to sort of not nerf him, but sort of level it up in a sort of way. Yes. But I'm happy with Kong being king of the Hollow Earth, but Godzilla is the king of the monsters above Earth and reigns above all. So
well, that's what they're setting up. Real quick, get to this super chat, and then I want to ask you guys in the chat. So Marcos A says, Mr. H and Ellie, the thing I'm most worried about is, will IMAX be open when this releases? Showed too much, but when watching movie, you're in the moment. So they won't be open here in the UK. We know they won't be open in the UK. I've got to use a VPN to watch this. That's the only way I can watch it. So you're paying with dollars, so I presume you are stateside. Stateside, it depends what state you're in, by the sounds of it. But I know they won't be open here in the UK, which really sucks balls. They're open in where you are in Australia.
In Australia, there are, but unfortunately, we did not have an IMAX screen here. We had one a few years ago in Darling Harbour. It was actually one of the biggest screens in the world. We had one IMAX screen, and then we had another one there's one of our cinemas called Hoyt's, and they had one in Entertainment Headquarters, another IMAX screen. But the IMAX screen, the big one, is currently being renovated, and it was due to open last year. But however, there was an issue where somebody passed away on the site because one of the pipes burst in his face, I think.
And they died at work. You say they passed away on site. It sounds like they laid them to rest. They had to wait there.
It was a whole big legal thing.
It was tragedy.
Halted everything, and then
you're making it sound like it's just this. Well, they got to stop for pay some respect.
And then the one that they had in Entertainment Headquarters, they closed down and renovated and added it, released it, opened it with just a normal standard cinema screen. So the closest thing we have here is VMAX, which is which is a pretty decent sized screen, just with better audio. So I will get the best experience with the audio. However, the screen in IMAX, I will not, unfortunately, because we have none here.
Right. Well, that's a shame.
But
God, mate, you got some stinky breath, dude. Not you, my dog. You just yawned in my face, and it absolutely stinks. Me and my bro got a $300 bet on who's going to win. Wow. Okay. Well, let me ask you guys in the chat. And again, if you want your point to be raised and discussed more prominently, super chat. Who do you think is going to win and why? And why do you want them to win? Or who do you want to win, but who do you think is going to win? And again, explain it. Like, cover it. Like, I want to know. What you guys think, because a lot of people are like, yeah, Godzilla because he should win, but if you want Kong to win, explain why, what's the reason for it. I'll be very curious to know. Very, very curious to know. Let me just scroll back up a little bit to some of these.
If you watch all the trailer reactions, there's a lot of support for Kong, surprisingly enough. And it's just like, I can't see people the way they're saying it's just like, oh, Godzilla will bow to Kong. I cannot see that happening. Like, it's just like,
Evil Alex says he's named King Kong for no reason. They set it up in this film's. He was just Kong the whole time, and Godzilla's the king. Kong wins, get his name, but don't kill Godzilla. But Mecha G will try to kill Godzilla. Interesting. I don't think that's how it's going to go, but interesting.
Mr. H is just sitting there reading everyone's theories, knowing how the film ends, and he's just like, I don't think so.
Well, no, I mean, I know rough. I know rough parts. I don't know exactly because the Sayaka ones were sort of all over the place, really, and they might have changed.
Yeah. Sure.
The G-Man better win, otherwise the MonsterVerse wouldn't be the same again if Godzilla isn't the Alpha Titan anymore. Well, that's the interesting thing, isn't it? Is that like, I also don't think. They're not going to kill Godzilla. They can't because Toho won't let them. That's not a spoiler. Toho just won't let them. Like, it's Toho's character.
That's licensing armor. Licensing armor.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it is. That's what Toho does. They have final say on everything with their property, with their monsters.
But they
won't let him die.
They did say there's going to be a clean, genuine winner within their battle. So.
Yeah, but that's not a death. A lot of people are like, a lot of people are like, well, that means someone's going to die. It's like, no, that doesn't. No, because I
the tagline's not one will die, one will fall.
Yeah, it's what is one will fall. that doesn't mean someone's going to die. And saying well, there's going to be a definitive winner, it just means that someone absolutely bested them. It's not a duel to the death. Do you know what I mean? It's not like guns at fucking dawn or five. Like Christ. Bird Boy 82 for €5 says, and thank you so much everyone that does the super chats. I cannot stress it enough. It really does help the channel out. My theory is while Kong was up, don't yawn again. Jesus. My theory is while Kong was on Skull Island, he was protected by it. When people try to move him, that's when G went mental because there can't be two alphas. Yeah. Well, that is supposedly what happens, actually, in fairness, is that he's sort of going all over the place trying to assert his dominance, things like that. And then he's like, what? Who is this? I have never sensed this thing before.
Upsetting the balance.
Yeah, so apparently that is what it is. It does upset the balance because we know that apparently Skull Island was fully isolated. It was an isolated zone. No one. What are you doing, dog? Oh my God.
Well, they said
never have live animals when you're recording. Bloody ridiculous.
I've got live animals in the ghetto.
Yeah, you've got the ghetto birds. The ghetto birds. Interesting. So. Henrog says Godzilla should win, but Kong's the underdog. Yeah, I guess so. I agree with you, and they're setting him up as the underdog as well. John Davis says, to be honest, it's far more likely that there is no definitive winner, and they both have to team up against Mechagodzilla. We know who's coming. Yeah, I mean that. I think there'll be a definitive winner before they do that. That's what I think. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think we talked about on the stream a while ago with the leaks and everything in terms of like there's going to be a clear definitive winner. Either one of them probably going to deliver a final blow, then Mecha G interrupts.
Yeah.
Whatever pans out after that pans out. And then obviously inevitable team up, and then we'll see what happens after that. Either they part ways, set up a sequel, no one knows what's going to happen.
Yeah. Daniel says, move your head, Jasper. Kong is just a big monkey who can simply be set on fire. So for me, this is a complete mismatch. After the battle with Ghidorah, this whole fight does not have any sense, honestly. That's the thing. Does it make sense now that because he really struggled against Ghidorah? Do you think it makes sense now? I mean, I always thought it was a bit of a weird step down. Yeah. After Ghidorah and Rodan and Mothra, it was like, and now you're going to King Kong? What? Like, okay, it is a bit odd.
Yeah.
That's the way they went. I get it for marketing reasons, but what do you think?
Well, Ghidorah did get the best of Godzilla multiple times in that film, and if it wasn't for basically Mothra helping out Godzilla, it wouldn't have ended the way it did. And you could tell as well when Godzilla fought Ghidorah in Antarctica, it was sort of even, but then Ghidorah did get the better of him and then sort of leave. And then when it was in the water, Godzilla's territory, Godzilla sort of had the upper hand.
Until the oxygen destroyer was dropped.
Bit off one of his heads, and then the oxygen destroyer came along and then obviously did its thing. But I think they did a good job at marketing how even they are in terms of. But one of the TV spots, did spoil something to do Godzilla, but I'm not going to say in terms of like.
Marshmallow, asserting his dominance sounds like my dog. Get him better trained. Dogs should never assert dominance because they should know who the alpha is in the pecking order. That's a good rule of thumb. Goddamn, Jasper. All I'm going to say is that we saw how strong Godzilla's pimp slap is. So I feel it's true. It was like, wow.
That's an Arabian backhand from my dad. That what happened to me as a kid.
Justice for Ellie. He was abused. So I feel like at the end of this month, I'm going to be £300 richer. Team Goji. Oh, brilliant. Imperial Lumpy says, I personally want Big G to win. He has always been a commentary on how humanity is nothing compared to nature. Big G hasn't been strictly on humanity's side, plus Big G fights high caliber enemies. Yeah, so you're right there. He has always been a commentary on humanity being nothing compared to nature, or also a commentary on humanity's faults and failures. Because the initial one was obviously a commentary on the tragic events of so it's not always on humanity's side. It's almost like a neutral force, isn't it? That's what it seems to be. He's never actually on anyone's particular side. He's just out for himself, but it's almost Lovecraftian, isn't it? Like you just can't really understand what he's about, but he's not beyond your comprehension. He's neither good nor he's neither good nor evil.
The Mutos maintain balance as well. And then even at the end of King of the Monsters, they're like, oh, good thing he's on our side. And then one of the professors replied, for now. And it's just like, how sort of the balance of nature swings, I guess. Then Godzilla sways towards that.
Yeah, true. The Emperor of Mankind says, my dog Whiskey has the breath of 100 Kong's armpits. Ugh. Lovely. Let me just go back up. Right, we got one more super chat. Tales from Junkyard. Hail, Mr. H and Ellie. Here is my humble offering to the table. Thank you so much. If we're going by the marketing, then it seems that Kong is poised to win at least one of the battles. Yeah. I think he will win one of them. I think that's the thing, is that they're setting up multiple battles throughout the film. Keep up the good work, and of course, hail the table. Thank you so much. It seems like that is what they're doing with it.
They'll make it like 1-1, then like
and then they're just decider sort of thing.
Decider.
Yeah.
It's just a whole boxing rivalry in one film.
We got a new member, Mick K. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy the benefits of becoming a member. Thank you. One more super chat real quick. John Davies says, if Mecha G is going to turn up, then Kong will beat Godzilla, and then the humans send in Mecha G to finish him off. That's when Kong switches to help G. Sorry, if Mecha G is going to turn up, then Kong will beat Godzilla, and then the humans send in Mecha G to finish him off. Yeah, that's interesting, but that is predicated on the theory that Mecha G is on the same side as the humans working with Kong, because it might not be.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think Mecha G wants to wipe out both and rid the world of Titans, and just like humanity, going down the route of humanity and robotic Titans in terms of like a Pacific Rim way, where it's just like we're creating our own.
Yeah. Good point though, John, my dude. Cyberzilla 101, love the name. Oxygen Destroyer introduced Destroyer as final villain. I don't think that they'll do Destroyer. Yeah. I'd love it if they did. Like, it'd be, well, not in this film. I wouldn't love it because it'd be too busy. But it would be cool to see Destroyer in the Monsterverse. It'd be rad. We have one new guest. He is late.
Good, I have a very good reason, and it's an awesome one, but I apologize.
1 hour. 1 hour.
I did let you know 6 hours ago. I'd be 6 hours, but I was trying to get out early.
I thought that was you. I thought 6 hours would actually been on time. Was that right or wrong? I guess I was way off the mark there then.
That's okay. I actually got out a little bit early, but I had to go to the mail room because my girlfriend sent me something there to make sure it wouldn't get stolen, and it's 2 Cara Dune action figures that she bought me.
Ooh.
So the Black Series and the like the 3 1/4 inch or whatever it is, little things there. So I had to go through that whole process, which took about 45 minutes, and I didn't know what it was. I'm like, why is someone sending me mail at work? So that's it. So I'll probably post a photo of it on Twitter later, but the note that she wrote me is staying private.
I see. Well, welcome to the round table, Script Doctor. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing pretty well. I mean, I'm not a big toy aficionado, but I'm pretty happy about that. And darn, I'm liking some of the marketing posters I've been seeing around the city for Godzilla versus Kong. I'm looking forward to it.
So, what do you think about the marketing so far, then, on a whole?
It's not as much as I was worried it'd be oversaturated. At least on.
Oh, you don't think it's been oversaturated?
Well,
holy shit!
I mean, I don't have normal television, right? So I don't see any of the other stuff on there, and my internet streaming feeds are pretty normal. So most of the marketing I go by with regards to oversaturation is how do my friends and family who aren't part of like the industry find it and respond to it. And if it's oversaturated, they usually complain about it really quickly. Like, I can't believe I'm seeing that damn commercial or something all the time. But this one is more like, I'm searching out the commercials. I'm searching out the ads because they're so cool, and I want to see. And I'm like, that's a really good sign. That's a good sign.
So that's a good sign for normies, then, I guess you could say.
I would say, yeah, that's a good sign for normies. That's I think HBO Max would be very pleased with hearing that, and even some of the filmmakers.
Yeah. See, that's interesting. That's really because we've been obviously this stream on a whole is about movie marketing. It's about the context of why they're doing it and whether they're going to harm the film or anything like that. And I said on the stream earlier is that they've got the fans' money. They always have the fans' money at the end of the day. So these have to be for the normies because they always do these things for. This is to drum up the wider audience, but then it's still
expand the fan base.
Saturate it. Yeah, but that's good. It's good to hear then that people seem very excited for it.
I've been using that barometer for the last 12 years. It's been working out pretty well. I mean, the last biggest one that I saw this was for Joker. And that was a movie I had doubts for because I read the script, which I thought was pretty neat, but difficult to pull off. However, they did pull it off.
Because I remember the script leaks and I was like, this could be terrible.
Yeah, like it could go either way.
Exactly. Yeah, that was all in the execution because it was like the script was like, and you think about the execution of these things, you're like, they don't normally execute these things very well. Was my thinking when I when heard about all those script leaks. Real quick, just to get through some super chats. Marshmallow, is Mecha G sentient, self-aware, conscious? Don't think so. Not from the set visits.
Traditionally, it's alien in design. I mean, if you want to go back to the original introduction of Godzilla.
Let's see.
Will do you think Adam Wingard would bring aliens into?
What?
Go on.
My theory is if they're using Ghidorah's brain, I think there's sort of a bit of Ghidorah living within there, in terms of like Godzilla senses that. This is not the best explanation, but hopefully you guys don't mind. The Transformers Age of Extinction sort of reference where they used Megatron's head to build Galvatron, but it was still sort of Megatron's sort of within Galvatron. He sort of took over because it was like from his head, for instance. Like Megatron was still within Galvatron, and then Megatron eventually took over. So because they're using Ghidorah's brain in implanting that into Mecha G, does that mean sort of there's still a part of Ghidorah's consciousness that's within Mecha G, and that's why Godzilla senses it? I know it's a weird theory, but hopefully
it's also similar to another analogy for a terrible movie, Batman v Superman. They took Zod's body and that created Doomsday, which united Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman to fight the end creature. So there is definitely a concept of pattern that we could see with Godzilla versus Kong. We just all hope that the execution and especially the visuals, like I want to make sure I can see everything going on. The last film had some issues with that. Color grading was peculiar choice.
I honestly didn't hate it, to be fair. I thought it made sense in the context of the film, because obviously Ghidorah, storms, etc. Rodan,
I agree, but
Ash,
it just reminds me, like it looked like I was watching it underwater, like if I were to really be underwater during nighttime, like where you can't see anything, but when you film underwater scenes at night, you can actually see what's going on, so you can make out the characters and their actions. And I figured they would probably try a little bit of that approach for this, so at least you can get a bit closer to the visuals. I mean, I understand using some of the darkness and contrast with lightning and all that other stuff to hide certain digital effects for post-production.
Well, yeah, they have to, don't they?
There are. I was just surprised they didn't go a little bit further with it to really make that stuff pop, because I mean those are your set pieces within the film, and you want to make sure people talk about them with great reverence.
Yeah. Real quick, super chat says, I wouldn't want to pick a winner. They are both a winner to me. I would like to see both teaming up and fight against a bigger villain such as Mecha G. And you followed up saying, I'm sorry, I wrote that a long time ago. Seems like the payment is lagging. Yeah, that was odd. The payments on YouTube's drunk half the time, so it's fine. We understand. Yeah, I mean, picking a winner is tricky, isn't it? Because you've got the ones which you want to win, the ones which should win, and sort of vice versa, and they set them up as, I think. But that's a testament to the marketing, actually, is that they've set them both up, or at least the other films as well, for Godzilla, as these characters that you don't want either of them to lose. You want them both to win, and that's good marketing and good films, right? Although I would say, Script, who do you want to win?
Ooh, that's tough. The evil part of me wants Mechagodzilla to win. But yeah, I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be an interesting take that we have Mechagodzilla win, so then you have to bring those two back for like a rematch, just to squeeze more out of that concept. But no, yeah, that's a tough one. Because I like Kong a lot. Like those are some
really
movies I saw first.
Trailers.
Yeah, I saw those. I saw the older movie, the 38 movie, and then the like a 70s remake before I saw any Godzilla film. But then Godzilla really like blew me away, and I got like I have 3 versions of like most of the Godzilla series. I got the original VHS releases. And then I got their Japanese ones with the subtitles, and then I got their DVD dubs, which I don't watch the DVD dubs that much. I like the Japanese ones.
Kevbot for $5 says, sort of off topic, but would you collaborate with D-Man again after the film is done? Yeah, always happy to. I haven't spoken to him for a long time. He was really busy with school stuff, because I did ask him about collabing a little while ago, but he's been very busy. So I'm always happy to collaborate with anyone, really. I don't care as long as I get on. I've always said, as long as I get on well with them, there's no point in me having someone on the stream who like the conversational flow isn't there, because then this is just crap, isn't it? Like that's shit to watch. Yeah. So it's always good for you guys to get people on here that like, there's a good conversational flow. And that you guys seem to like the stream with me and Script the other day, and you enjoy Ellie on here, so that's why I invite these people back. Well, it makes sense. There's no reason otherwise. Because I can. Well, yeah, it is. I mean, I can chat to these guys off stream.
Yeah.
I don't have to have them on stream. So this is for you as much as it is for us as well. I like how they're paying homage a lot in this movie, and with Mecha G and Ghidorah goes back to the old Godzilla versus Mecha G when they use the old Zilla skeleton. Yeah, it does. Like they are doing a lot of good old homages in this, which I do like actually. But I wonder. Well, I mean, I guess that is literally just who's that for? Just super fans, really, isn't it? Which is nice. Like it's good that they're catering to that. And then I guess pertains back to the marketing. The marketing is solely for normies as well. Orange Hat reviews real quick. My theory: tributes to Godzilla against Mecha Godzilla. Ghidorah might possess kind of Mecha G when OG Godzilla possessed. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So this is going back. This is an homage sort of thing as well. So you're almost basically saying that Ghidorah is going to take over Mecha Godzilla, the brain waves or something like that.
Makes sense because he's alien. So
yeah, can anyone else see that happening?
Sure. Yeah.
It goes into my similar to the Transformers thing where the humans think they're controlling Mecha G, and then they start to lose control because in that film, Megatron took over his body, so he became his own sort of self-conscious being. So maybe that could happen with Mecha G with Ghidorah ending being able to take over. So the humans think they have control. They're controlling Mecha G for a little bit, but then eventually Ghidorah's conscious starts to take over and his brain waves, whatever. I don't know how the science works. Just starts to take over the entire body, and then the humans can't control him anymore. And then Serzar was like, "What the heck's happening?" And then true. They have to take him out.
True. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, there we go. That's a pretty big coverage of the marketing in general. Hopes for the film, I guess. Who thinks it's going to be a success?
I think it's going to be a resounding success with the way they're releasing it with streaming and theaters. I think there's going to be so much hype with it. 66 million views for a trailer. I don't know. I think that's part of it. That's because people have been wanting for something like this for a while, and it's been like the film industry has been void of a lot of things, and to see like a massive release like this finally happening, that's why I think people will come out in droves to come see it. But
is there enough movie theaters open to
that's
for
the
it
problem.
to actually earn money?
So the thing is, I'm interested to see the numbers with HBO signing subscriptions because it's a week after the Snyder Cut, I believe. So I'd be interested to see how many people the Snyder Cut gets on board, and then how many extra hop on to see Godzilla vs. Kong. Like that's not from the Snyder Cut, because obviously if you sign up for the Snyder Cut, you get the monthly thing. So I'm guessing you get Godzilla vs. Kong as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure how that works.
Well, so are the theaters open where you are, Script?
Few and far between. There's a lot of what's called red zones in this in the Southern Ontario area.
Red zones.
Yeah, which means that those public businesses are pretty much shut down or have like extreme measures in place to operate for regarding the pandemic.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more places in the rural areas and in smaller towns that are open up, and there's still some independent theaters that are out there that I'm pretty sure are negotiating to try and get copies of this film to display and show to people. So I hope it does well. It'd be great if we can get a movie that's of a different franchise to dominate the conversation for a little bit. So I'm pulling for it.
Well, didn't Tom and Jerry earn like 13 million at the box office over the weekend? And that's Tom and Jerry. Like,
but how was that released then? Because wasn't that on?
I'm not too sure. I don't. Was that on HBO Max? Because I can't use HBO Max because I think I need a VPN to use it because
you'll need a VPN and a US credit card. So
okay, because I know for the Snyder Cut script, there's another like streaming service within Australia called Binge, and it's just like they've teamed up sort of like with HBO to allow us to watch the Snyder Cut here. So you just got to sign up to that. So I'm gonna obviously sign. And the thing is, different subscription plans allow you to see the film in different quality, so you can't just get the free trial to the cheaper one if you want to watch it in better quality. I was just like, wow, of course you would do that.
So, Tom and Jerry arrived simultaneously in select theaters and on HBO Max Friday. It managed to score the second best opening weekend in North America during the pandemic. That's not good.
Much.
that's garbage. With a surprising 13.7 million from 2,500 theaters. It falls just shy of Wonder Woman, which made 16.4. That they're both terrible.
Okay. That's not
they're both pretty bad. Because they seem to forget that when Tenet came out, it took over 100 million odd worldwide, I believe, if I remember rightly, opening weekend.
What's the situation
even in the pandemic?
In China, what's the situation? Is it are theaters open there?
Yeah, they are apparently. If I remember right, do you know? I think they are, aren't they? Script?
I think so. I know a couple of the provinces have pretty much back to normality, or at least so they advertise.
So Tenet opening weekend had over 20 million opening weekend. So much better than both of them, actually. So I don't know why people keep getting back to fucking. Well, I guess it makes sense because it's also on HBO Max, isn't it? Miss H, can you do a MonsterVerse watch along with us? Some of them always get taken down, to be honest. It's very iffy doing watch alongs. Maybe. I've never done one before. Maybe. Robin Russell, let me ask you. If Kong got help equivalent to an atomic bomb reviving Godzilla and a Titan sacrificing their life, then Kong could maybe beat Ghidorah. No, because
the oxygen destroyer did nothing to Ghidorah.
Yeah, because it was Godzilla. Godzilla had the upper hand in the water at that point.
Yeah.
So no, that's a bad comparison, I think, dude. To be fair. Thoughts, script? Unless you don't remember King of the Monsters, then I'll breeze past your opinion.
Not too much. No, I'm just trying to see if if Kong got help equivalent to an atomic bomb reviving Godzilla and a Titan sacrificing their life, then Kong could maybe beat Ghidorah. Yeah, I don't understand the logic of that statement. I might need a little bit more on that.
It's basically saying that Kong, if put in the same circumstances as Godzilla in King of the Monsters, he could beat Ghidorah.
No, Ghidorah just pick up Kong and drop him.
like he did with Godzilla.
Yeah, I think it'd be the same outcome.
I think if anything, Kong will die.
What level of atomic bomb are we dealing with here?
Dude, the surgery, the doctor's dissecting.
Oxygen destroyer level. Brad Felt, spoiler: Mechagodzilla defeats Kong and Godzilla by luring them into the sea with his secret weapon, a very large laser pointer.
Oh no, you spoiled it.
Well, it'd just be built into his eyes, just little laser beams. That'd be great. I'd love that. That'd be hilarious.
If Kong was like a giant cat, maybe I'd fall for it. But,
true.
I don't know of many apes that fall for laser pointers. I don't see many memes of that.
Yeah. It's not normal for them, is it? Chris Raposo is brand new channel member. Thank you so much, dude. And very cute little doggo there as well. Love a doggo on this channel. Obviously, we got Jasper here, so yeah. Thank you so much, dude. Thanks for supporting the channel.
If you want to know how Kong could defeat Mechagodzilla, he's probably just going to throw his feces at him. Because that's what apes do.
True.
If they did that in the movie, I would applaud. Because you'd never see it coming.
That's what they should have done in that TV spot, rather than have Kong rip a tree out the ground. He should have just picked his crap up and throw
it right at the screen.
It'd be more accurate, I guess, wouldn't it? God damn.
Yeah.
Just so I think of a human.
Oh, this stream has descended. That's it.
Sorry, I had to bring. You did the cat laser pointer thing as a joke. I'm like, yeah, that would be funny, but giant King Kong.
Oh, love it.
And you just have like something like at the end of Ghostbusters with Walter Peck where he gets doused in the marshmallow, but it's just, you know.
Oh, so good. That'd be brilliant. Davey, cheers. Thank you, I guess. There's nothing else there, so difficult, but yeah, cheers. Unless YouTube deleted it, because that's often what they do. Jack says, wonder how Mortal Kombat will be doing comparison to the Snyder Cut, Wonder Woman 84. I think Mortal Kombat will be a huge surprise. The trailer's views already tells it, and it's something different for once. Yes. God damn, the trailer views. It's broken R-rated records, hasn't it, for a Red Band trailer?
Yeah.
I think
it's unbelievable.
I think Mortal Kombat will do better than Snyder Cut. I think.
Do you think? Wow, that is a bold proclamation. Are you ready for everyone to hate?
Yeah, I know all the Snyder fans are going to kill me, but like it's just like, I think that it's a bit of like, I think it's like a silent majority for Mortal Kombat in terms of it's just going to come soon and catch everyone by surprise in terms of how well it's going to do. Especially being an R rating as well. It's just like everyone's like, yeah, give me some.
I think it'll be a sleeper hit type of thing. It's going to have like, you know, decent opening weekend, but then it's going to pick up afterwards because I have no doubt in my mind that the level of story quality between the two properties of Snyder Cut and Mortal Kombat are going to be mundane-ish. But the fight choreography itself, Mortal Kombat, is probably going to be amazing.
Oh, you're offending so many people right here.
No, it's all about the fight. Mortal Kombat's all about the fights and the choreography.
You compared it to the Snyder Cut being mundane, you said.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, Zack Snyder's not a storyteller. He's a great special effects guy and assistant director. And if you love the Snyder Cut, I will have your back to love it, man. Absolutely. Go for it.
Yeah, I think Script Doctor and I tweeted about the Snyder Cut not being as good as it looks. And we ended up, I think we aligned with the same view about it. And then, if I'm just saying I don't think it looks as good as everyone's making it out to be in terms of it's not going to be the revelation and sort of second coming.
Jared Leto as Jesus Joker is not a new idea.
I know. Well, they stole that from St. Maud.
I'm just saying, Script, some of the Snyder fans are making it out as is. It's just like the be all and end all. This is going to be like a revolutionary thing. And I think you agreed with me when I was just saying I don't think it's just going to be as special as everyone think it is. It could be good, and I might like it. I'm going into the open mind. If I like it, I like it. And to the Snyder fanboys, if I respect your opinion, if you do love it, I do not care. But it's just I'm just saying I think it's not as revolutionary or as groundbreaking as it's going to be. And if I get attacked for that, I get attacked. But they're going to come in droves, so it's all right.
That's it, mate. You just lock your door, bro, and that's it. You're done. you said you live in a ghetto. Those ghetto birds are coming down.
The ghetto birds are coming.
But you know what? I would not be. I think a lot of the Snyder Cut fans will absolutely love Mortal Kombat because it does have a lot of overlap of takes and interest with regards to what's in that heavy violence, cool special effects. I will say, the special effects on the trailer for Mortal Kombat are amazing.
They're really good.
Great. Yeah. No right to be that good for this type of movie.
No, well, that's what I said in the trailer. I was like, it literally, it has no. Why is this good? What is going on? It doesn't. I mean, I'm amazed. I'm really impressed. Yeah. But I also think it the difference I think between the Snyder Cut and Mortal Kombat is Mortal Kombat very clearly knows what it is.
Yes,
I think that's the difference. Whereas the Snyder Cut doesn't, and also the fans don't. So
no, Mortal Kombat's got a very distinct identity, which will help them greatly for this film.
Yeah. Here's an interesting one. So Robin Russell says Kong versus Rodan, who wins? Take it away.
See, I didn't think we saw much of Rodan in King of the Monsters.
I mean, he literally blew a whole Mexican town.
No, Titan to Titan to Titan.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, we didn't see much of that.
In terms of against humans, obviously outsmarting the fighter jets was cool with the little smirk he gave and then the 360 whirl, but he did get one hit, Mothra with one shot on him with the I guess the stabbing thing.
Stinger.
I don't know what's called. Stinger. Completely lost my. Got him like completely downed him in one go. If Kong has an axe, I think he'll beat Rodan. If Kong has the axe and is leveled up, I think he'll beat Rodan. But
interesting. Well, what do you think, Script?
I think if Rodan can get his claws on him and then fly him up high enough and then drop him,
it's all about the flying.
Because we know Kong can die from heights. I mean, that's the story, right? So if he can get him up high enough and make sure he lands on an actual surface that even water would actually hurt him a lot, because water's not soft when you fall from a great height. So
well, no, it effectively becomes solid, doesn't it? Because the
displacement it doesn't displace fast enough. Yeah.
Unless he has something to break the fall before, then he's gone.
Interesting. I mean, I would say Rodan has the potential to have the upper hand. I think if anyone was to do it, they would write it as Kong wins, though. But
100%, yeah. Like writing wise,
Imperial Lumpia says, question: do you think we will see new big G abilities by the end of GBK? Well, apparently there is one.
There is one in one TV spot. I'm not sure if it's a new ability, but it's definitely Godzilla doing something. It's like a supercharge with his
atomic
breath. Yeah.
What is it? What does he do?
It's just sort of. I'm not sure if he's just blowing it into the ground within the Hong Kong city, or he's like sort of supercharged, similar to how Ghidorah did the supercharge of the lightning, where he burst out. So I think it's similar to that from what it looks like, but.
Okay.
It is within the Hong Kong battle, because there's the neon city lit up. So
interesting. I'd like to see some, and I think that there definitely should be. I mean, if they're pushing him to the limits, they should definitely have a new ability. And I think that's part of the fun of these monsters, is give them new abilities every now and then. Script, what do you think? Narratively, what would you want to see? Would you want to see a new ability?
Why not? I mean, there's not really a whole lot to the things that Godzilla can do anyways. Like, he's got the atomic breath and an impeccable amount of endurance and speed. So yeah, if they've got something new that kind of fits within what Godzilla is, I'm down for seeing the experiment and giving it a shot. Why not? I mean, don't give him like laser finger missiles or anything. That's Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, well, God, I hope not. Yeah,
or like throwing claws.
Just snaps his tail off, throws it. Bitch slaps someone with it. This stream really has fucking lost it now. Marshmallow says Kong has almost human intelligence. Thoughts? He seems to be on par with apes that we have now, right? Like, he knows sign language and stuff like that. Like, you can teach, or there have been instances of sign language being taught. I'd say he's above that, but I wouldn't say almost human. It doesn't seem to be. Still very animalistic, right? I guess.
Yeah, he definitely is smart, realizing that the enclosure is not Skull Island as well, testing it out, I'm guessing. So,
but he would know. Surely he'd walk up to it at one point and go, "Fuck me, there's a wall."
Yeah, I think Kong understands cause and effect, as well as a little bit of abstract thinking. So, yeah, he's
close, but not full on human.
Yeah, he's kind of like normal artificial intelligence programs. Yeah, they can kind of fool you for a bit, but really they're not anything.
Yeah. That's a good comparison. Script Doctor just soft dissed the Snyder Cut. Twitter has left the chat. Please don't dislike the video just because some people don't like Snyder Cut. It's fun.
Just because I'm not a fan does not mean I won't support you guys from loving it, man.
Honestly, you say, I know, but some people, they just can't handle it. They can't.
Hey, they need, some people need this movie, and I want them to enjoy it. I want it to be the best thing for them. That helps everybody. It really does.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely does, actually, to be fair. Dragon Reborn Darren says, I'm happy the Snyder fans are getting the Snyder Cut, but I wish the backstories were fleshed out more. That's why my preferred Justice League will always be the animations. I never thought they needed to do their backstories that much in the Justice League film. They just needed them to group together, and then I think that they could have done it in subsequent films, because I think we all know, like, DC fans know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not even a DC fan, but I know the backstories I know the rudimentary, broad narrative part of these, and you can work it out. Like you can just say stuff in passing.
You only need to do the bare essentials, and it doesn't require a full movie isolating that to get across that.
Yeah.
The only thing that always irked me is when, and I didn't even like this about Marvel when they did this, is like they planned for the superhero team, like Nick Fury is planning for a superhero team called the Avengers. I'm like, see, that's not what made those superheroes so awesome. Is that it was happenstance that they had to come together to save the world, and as a result, they decided, hey, we should work together more often, and thus form the thing. And what we have here in the trailers for the Snyder Cut is Ben Affleck's Batman is recruiting a bunch of heroes for an impending threat that hasn't happened yet. So it's like, listen, I understand Batman is like very, very prepared, but this is a really convoluted way of getting him to do it this way. It just, I mean, I liked what they did in the cartoon. I liked what they've done in the comic books, where a giant disaster comes and no individual hero is able to do it alone. So they all have to work together. And I like that cause and effect type of thing, because it's way more invested, and on top of that, it's very active for the storytelling process. It's like you don't have time to have the team built and go through training montages and all that stuff. It's like, no, crap has hit the fan. We gotta fly by the seat of our pants. It's way more thrilling, higher stakes. Yeah, I that's what I would long for with a team up film, and we kind of get that a little bit with Godzilla versus Kong. It has that telegraphed in their trailer.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Good way to work it back into GVK as well. Marshmallow says, I'd love to see Shin Godzilla abilities in the MonsterVerse. Yes. But we get an homage to Shin Godzilla in the first, in that boat scene when he's got the tail sort of slamming around. Yeah. That's very much an homage to Shin Godzilla, and it's glorious. It works so well. It's such a fantastic shot. But yeah, some of the Shin Godzilla abilities in the MonsterVerse would be great. Like just the beams, the atomic beams coming off everywhere would be just fucking epic. That would be really, really cool.
Here's something I haven't yet found out. So hopefully one of you two know, or someone in the chat knows. Did they manage to get another copy of the original recording of the Godzilla roar that they used previously? Because that's licensed out individually, and the original recording is not properly digitized. They can't do it, so it can only be played so many times before it degrades. Right. And they've been trying to, because even in other movies after I think the mid aughts of 2000s, they had to use a digital one. They couldn't use the original classic Godzilla roar, and people noticed. I remember noticing it originally, and then I remember seeing someone on YouTube did a video about how the original audio recording it's used in such a way where it can't be properly digitized to be reused over and over again. So they have to actually play in the actual audio recording and mix it into editing. But it's a really expensive process.
Why wouldn't you be able to just make a recording of that? I'm confused.
I wish I knew. I've asked my my cousin who does digital compositing and also audio mixing, and he hears of the story, but he hasn't had a chance to ever get his hands on it to know all the complications. But yeah, apparently, like the person who owns the actual physical tape, number one, won't let it be duplicated, so he licenses it out. And two, the reason he won't let it be duplicated is that he's very worried that's going to damage the original material.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't understand.
Because it's from the original recording from I think the late 50s, like from the first.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm like,
so it's like magnetic tape and all that stuff.
I haven't heard anything on it. So you're saying they can't record that clip script, like the one from 58?
They can port it, but the thing is, it doesn't have the same quality.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't you be? Yeah, true. Well, yeah, because you'd have the sound floor on top of it, right?
Yeah.
Like where you're recording it, things like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's goddamn. Never even thought of that, to be honest. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Side note, real quick, because you're here, Script. Have you watched the Superman and Lois series yet?
Yeah, I actually, while I was waiting for this lousy lit manager to pick up her damn phone, I ended up watching the second episode, which...
What did you think?
It was very old school CW. Didn't have any of the current CW-isms in there. but it wasn't really much of it. It was very predictable for me. But I understand a lot of people would like this one because it's a bit more closer to a Superman that's familiar. But it did follow a lot of the same beats as the pilot. You have Superman fighting the guy in up in the air in space, and then he falls down to the earth, and then Lois obviously, leaving her job to work.
That was pretty obvious. Yeah,
that was pretty obvious. The kid being told by that computer
Jor-El.
that he's not. Yeah, the Jor-El, Ghost of Jor-El, that he's not going to have proper powers. I saw that coming a mile away because obviously they're going to delay the inevitable and it's going to be proven wrong. And
that's obvious. All those things were. But do you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it?
It's not painful. One thing, the scene I really liked was between the two brothers, where the football brother supported his half-breed alien brother, so to speak. It's like, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to help you. I'm like, that's something I believe a child of Superman would say that and be that type of guy.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, you got one.
Yeah.
So
I've had a good time with it so far. I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it's I don't know, just dumb Superman fun, but it's not been like the pilot was genuinely decent. Like the cinematography was very good in that. Like very, very good.
I have a problem with the lighting. It's got too many golds and blacks, like color schemes to it, where it looks dark and gloomy when it should be a bit more.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I mean, I think that they're going for like an indie film look when they're doing their cinematography and the color grading.
It doesn't fit well in my opinion. Luckily, that has nothing to do with the writing or acting. So it's like that's just an aesthetic that they'll probably change by the time they get to episode 8, because that's usually when most shows of this nature find their footing and find their brand. Is around the 8th episode. I
think that. Well, I would have said that they already found it. To be fair, but I know HBO has been involved in this one more.
Well, with the formula for at least CW and definitely with Berlanti is that usually the first 3 episodes end up not being anywhere near as recognizable as the rest of the show continues. And that's just because the crew and the cast are kind of finding their footing. And again, TV directors don't really do a whole lot when it comes to shaping a show. They just don't. And if any of them tells you otherwise, they're lying because they want to keep their job, and I understand that. But it's really like the showrunners, the main producers, and the cast and crew. Like the crew get into autopilot pretty quick. They know how to frame their shots. They know how to do all their setups and everything. The cast find their footing of their characters, and then it ends up becoming a reflex for them, so they know how to do the performances based on what's written in the script. And if any changes need to be done, it's going to be done mostly by the showrunner or whoever wrote that episode that week that's on set monitoring the entire situation. The director is really just there to say action cut, faster, slower, maybe from this angle. Like it's very easy. I've seen it many times, and it's laughable. I've even seen it to a point where the director said one thing and nobody listened to him, and they had a better performance as a result. So, but it's not terrible. But I just say cautiously optimistic because we all know where the CW goes, and I think this is also a short season. I only think it's 13 episodes.
Yeah, not super long.
So they don't have too much. So they can get out quick before it gets bad, so to speak.
Yeah, well, I hope so. Sean Lyon says, thought we were talking about Godzilla vs. Kong instead of bloody Superman. We'll talk about whatever I want to talk about, good sir. we have main topics, and then I will talk about whatever I please. Sorry if that offends you, my dude, but these I haven't spoken to Script Doctor about this show, and I wanted to cover it. This is me having a conversation. I just wanted to know his thoughts on it. Sorry.
I like Tyler Hoechlin. He's pretty good.
Hey, I thought he was pretty decent actually. Like genuinely thought. But I've not had any experience of the other stuff. That's the thing. Like a lot of people hate it because they've seen him on Supergirl and said that he's like a bitch to Supergirl. I'm like, well, I've not. Why would I have watched that? Supergirl looks like
he's
shit.
Written as that to Supergirl, but he doesn't try to perform it like that.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, but let's get back on topic ever so slightly because some people are being a little bit perturbed by this.
Like if people watch these streams regularly, they know the main topic is always the focus for like hour and a half of it. Then like you can talk about and drift to other things. Like you always appreciate super chats as well when they're off topic. Like you still talk about them.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah.
You always segue back to the original topic anyway. Like I've got a question about GBK, but you guys were having an awesome conversation about Superman and Lois, and you wanted to catch up on how Script Doctor thinks about it. So like, who cares? Like,
what is your question about G?
Oh, just about the runtime. Because if you do search up the runtime on Google now, it says 2 hours and 52 minutes, which I think is really false. So it could be
Sorry,
misleading.
say that again. What?
If you search up the run like Godzilla vs Kong on Google, it says 2 hours and 52 minutes, which I think is wrong. Like that's definitely not the runtime from what I've heard. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, like that. If you search it up on Google,
not right at all.
If you search up Godzilla vs Kong on Google and click on it, it says to action sci-fi, 2 hours and 52 minutes.
Yeah.
If you search it up now on Google. Yeah, Script Doctor, it's right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now.
Yeah. And from what I've heard, it's an hour 53. So. And I even like Script. I even like got in touch with my manager, like the theater I used to work at. I'm like, yo, hook me up. Do you have any details on this? And she hasn't found anything yet, but she'll let me know straight away when I get like sort of info like of like when the film reel comes in. I'm guessing so.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. That's what?
Yeah. So it's definitely misleading. So I don't think, although, yeah. I'm not too sure. Like just under 3 hours. Yeah. I was just like,
that's the last hour credits for all the special effects we've had to do.
Like that's definitely you could do a video on that H where it's just like explaining this is wrong, misleading. Because like I remember Mr. H Script, he did a video on like the test screenings a year ago, and the people from the test screenings were saying it's a very brisk sub 2 hours. Like it flows really well, just under 2 hours. And from leaks, I've heard some people talking about YouTube. They said it's an hour 53. So. I'm not too sure where 2 hours 52 is from on Google. So
yeah, I've found another article from Cinema Blend that says 1 hour 53 again as well. That was 1 day ago.
But like the first thing, if you search up Godzilla vs. like Google's a big thing because people immediately assume 2 hours 52. Like it's the first thing you search up. So
what are they trying to say? We can be just as epic as the Snyder Cut.
Like
that's so strange.
I just wanted to mention that because I just didn't know. Like I wanted to. Yeah, I was just like, it's interesting. 2 hours 52. That's a long time for a monster.
That is, yeah. I mean, granted, Snyder Cut's 4 hours, but
yeah. And Script, that's like a lot of CGI to render for 2 hours 52 with the budget they had as well. Like, that's a lot.
Which makes me wonder if it's really a bunch of CGI or if it's just a bunch of humans arguing over it and stuff.
Jesus. That's confused the shit
I'm
out
calling,
of me.
like, I saw Imperial Olympia's thing, but I'm calling bull. Yeah, no way it's 3 hours. I think so.
No, it won't be. I mean, you're completely right. Imperial, my dude. That's not right. I mean, Blade Runner 2049 was 2 hours 45, wasn't it?
Yeah, you felt that.
Yeah,
I love that film, but
I enjoyed it greatly.
I enjoy it.
You know, my bladder said, "Hey, you got to take a break."
I saw it in theaters, and my friends are like with me. They're just saying, "Oh, it's so boring. When's it going to kick in?" It's just like,
well, King of the Monsters was only 2 hours 12, so they're not going to have this film about two things.
Kong was just shy of 2 hours, and that felt fine. The pacing and everything, like, got straight to. I think this film doesn't need to be more than 2 hours in terms like they've got the Titans already established. They can get straight to the point with what they're doing, and then I think it would just flow seamlessly from there. Because similar to Kong Skull Island, what was the runtime of that thing? It was. I'm just double checking. Yeah, see, Kong was an hour 58, so just shy of 2 hours. That's including credits, and that ran fine. That film got straight to the point, straight to Kong Skull Island, and straight into the Titan action. So I think this one was the same.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this needs to. It needs to get straight into the action. This film, because
so that's why I think
there's a lot to tell, but a lot of it is like narrative movements. Like it's moved from A to B. Like you have to like.
Bang, 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 bang,
yeah. There's a lot of notes that are happening. Like there's no time for needless exposition because there's a lot actually happening. So they have to get right to it. Not action specifically as in action fights, but they need to get to the action immediately as in people actually doing stuff.
Yeah. Like 3 hours is a long, like just shy of 3 hours. That's a long time.
It's not.
I'm just saying because like it's misleading to people in the
I
channel.
can't believe. I get that. I wasn't even aware of that. That's. Where the fuck did they get that from? Like, seriously? I mean, look, it's not been officially confirmed anyway yet.
Yes. I'm just saying some people might take that as gospel, like straight away search it up on Google. Oh, it's the first thing there. It's 2 hours 52. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean you're right. Isn't it 1 hour 53 counting the credits? So 10 minutes. Yeah, that's what we've. Yeah, it's what we think it's going to be. I mean, it's not confirmed, but that's basically what it was. All but confirmed to be. Like so many people said it was. So yeah,
a lot of people are saying under 2 hours. So
strange, so strange. Yeah, the under 2 hours seem to have been confirmed. Quite.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I just wanted to mention just in case, like, it's just interesting to talk about that. It's just there. 2 hours 52. It's just like
yeah. I mean, but Imperial says raises a very pertinent point here. It says you can still do a lot with just 90 minutes, let alone 2 hours. You can do loads with that stuff.
Oh yeah, 90 minutes is a sweet spot. I love 90-minute films.
90 minutes is like
it's good. Watched two 90-minute films yesterday. I watched Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2 again, and they run smoothly. I know they're not
Kung Fu Panda.
I love Kung Fu Panda, man. It's
my bro.
Goated. In the chat, that's just my innocence. Script, help me out. Kung Fu Panda goated films. Come on.
I've seen the first one. I thought it was very sweet and endearing.
Come
on. I used it to
Kung
occupy my godchildren when I babysat them.
Kung Fu Panda is awesome. I rewatched the other one.
I've used it to entertain children. Was Script's reply right there, Ellie? It
is a well-told story, though.
It's awesome. Kung Fu Panda is awesome. I
watched the first one. I like. What happened in the others? What was?
I watched the second one because they're on Netflix, but the third one's not on Netflix. So the second one just goes into a bit more backstory with another villain, and Gary Oldman actually voices the villain in the second one. Which is
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just goes more into Poe's backstory in terms of his parenthood and what that the villain involved had something to do with wiping out his lineage in terms of the pandas. And then the third one goes in. I don't want to spoil it, but I thought it was Kung Fu Panda.
Hold on, I'm never going to be watching Kung Fu Panda 2.
Okay,
and even if I do, I'm sure I'm going to forget it by the time I do.
And then it goes like at the end of Kung Fu Panda 2, it reveals like his father's still alive, and the third one's all about finding the hidden panda village and his father.
What?
Yeah.
Listen,
I love
Panda Village.
Kung Fu Panda is awesome. Awesomeness. That's it.
Fucking hell, mate. Hidden Panda Village. Edward says it right. I'm allowed.
What's wrong with Kung Fu Panda, man? I love it. It's so good.
There's nothing wrong with. I enjoy the fact that you're so into it. It's good.
I love my animated films. I love them. I'm gonna rewatch Minions and Despicable Me soon as well. They make me laugh so much.
What was this? Minions? Is that not the Despicable Me?
That's like a spin-off of just the Minions.
That was when they cloned them. Is that right?
No, it's just a backstory. Yeah, the Minions are the little yellow creatures, and they're just like.
What was the one where they cloned them? Because I watched that one.
Cloned them.
They made little purple ones, like hairy purple minions in one of those.
I think that was Minions or Despicable Me 3, one of them, where the villain.
Right.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about. I think it was.
I've watched the Despicable Me's. Yeah. I've watched them because I think
it's the third one. Yeah, like I laugh more with animated films than actual like comedies that try to be funny nowadays. That's just me. That's part of me. I don't
recall a comedy being made too recently. In the last like 10 years, something that's really a laugh out loud.
Yeah,
there's not been a lot of good
script with that Minions film. I went and saw it in theaters. If you saw how much I was laughing, it's so funny. Like
someone would ask you to leave.
Like stupid stuff.
I'm sure people were like, "Has he got his brother with him? No, he's stood by himself. Stood by himself." Right. I see.
There was one scene where they were playing football and he kicked the ball into the goal and he just dived so delayed over it. I just goes I don't know why. But yeah, we're talking about 90-minute films. They run briskly. It's great.
Clearly. You remember everything from them as well, like you do.
Hey, you got a good laugh out of it. There you go. Hidden Panda Village.
Funny. Marshmallow says, "Did you check out the Bat Metal videos I sent you?" I was kicked off Twitter. I think that might have been when I was kicked off Twitter. I was kicked off Twitter for 12 hours. If anyone knew, I was kicked off Twitter because I called I called a Liborg simp a see you next Tuesday, and I got booted off. It was great. Got my account locked for 12 hours. had to like, I don't know, pass some crap. Like, fuck Twitter. Seriously, fuck Twitter so much. Side note, follow me all on Twitter at Mistakes Reviews.
As long as it's still there, yeah.
At Mistakes Reviews. Thanks very much.
Yeah, I think Dave Savage's comment, I loved when you wrote that comment back with the CUNT, but the way you pronounced it, I was not laughing. I think we didn't get banned for that one.
I can't. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Bloody. Yeah.
Well, the fact that that report came out from one of the investigators that some of the conjecture of Ray Fisher was proven just that conjecture. No, Hamada didn't interfere with anything.
Yeah, well, I want to do a whole stream about that specifically. Yeah. Discussing, it's going to get so much hate. People are going to hate me for it, but I want to talk because following that investigator coming out and saying you're talking shit, mate, what you doing? The investigator that he praised, he then posted a massive long thing saying there was definitely racial bias. I actually didn't know about it at the time. It's like, so why did you open the initial complaint then, mate?
It's just
what was the initial complaint then? What was it? What were you crying about the first time? Like,
one example, like it's so ambiguous.
Yeah. Just something. Just give us something to talk about. No,
did he drop the N-word? Like, like what?
No, literally nothing. Like, and honestly, I want to talk about that on a live stream because I'd be fascinated to see who comes in, and I want to break it down with everyone else here as well, and just discuss it all because I've got my very firm opinions on all of that. I'm so fucking sick of it. So I mean, you've seen my tweets about it all, script and Ellie. I cannot believe anyone believes this idiot.
It's gonna all come down to him having an issue with saying "booyah." And
that's what it was supposedly, yeah. That is genuinely what it was supposed to be. That's what Jeff Johns and John Berg came out and was like, yeah, no, we wanted him to say booyah, but he didn't want to say it.
That's your character, my friend. Like,
whatever. Never mind. Anyway, I can see this. TJ Halls has posted this a good few times. Sorry, my dude. Says, what would you three like to see in the sequels for the Monsterverse if GVK is successful? Destroyer. Personally, I'd like to see Destroyer because I think that with the Monsterverse aesthetic would be terrifying, like legit, actually terrifying.
Yeah.
But I would also really like to see some more original Titans because I've really enjoyed Legendary. Just going, whatever. Like, here you go, brand new, whatever. I'd like to see that. Like, I'd like to see them making their own stuff again because I think that they do a really good job. That's all I'd like to see personally. Biolante, I'd like to see Biolante because I think that would make for an interesting. If they're going now, because we know they're going massively balls to the wall with this one, so I would like to see Biolante. We know that they could do it. So what do you guys think? What would you like to see?
I remember talking on a stream with like when I was with Andre, and he was talking about they won't have the budget after this, or sort of like they wouldn't want to splash the money too much. And we're talking about a TV series. Remember Andre mentioned a TV series, and I thought of an idea for a TV series, maybe like a criminal underworld with Monarch, or like sort of recruiting, or sort of like similar to like the start of Spider-Man Far From Home. Where
you're talking about a series that we're saying. Like, what do you want to see in a sequel, like a movie? It's a massive success. It's fucking sold out. Takes $1 billion worldwide. They can do anything. What would you want to see?
Yeah, I've never heard of the story. I just searched him up, and he looks amazing. So I just like with the aesthetic, they could, if they pull him off well.
Who?
Destroyer.
Oh, right.
Destroyer. I just looked up what he looks like and some of the
terrifying.
Yeah, that looks terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying. Yeah, like with that Monsterverse aesthetic would be epic. I think
they're going all out a bit with this one. So like we're going to explore the Hollow Earth, so it's just like you maybe more of that. It depends how much they explore that in this film as well.
Yeah.
It depends to the extent. Like maybe I'd like to see the Hollow Earth a bit more. So maybe depending on how much they do it in this film, maybe the other monsters within it, the more backstory behind it, possibly something like that. But that just depends to the extent they explore that within this film.
Script? What would you like to see?
The kid in me wants to see Space Godzilla just for the giggles. But I mean, Biollante, I wasn't thinking about him, but yeah, that would be cool. And maybe Gigan.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to see an update. I mean, I think Gigan was pretty cool. I'd like to see what they do as an update for that.
I just think they've nailed the MonsterVerse crossover. You know, putting them in that live action stuff. They just look great.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see them all in that sort of like live action CGI blend thing. It just looks so bloody.
I think it's also a little motion capture too, right? There's some stunt people doing actual stuff and they overlay it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. King of the Monsters script, you can find videos on YouTube of them doing the motion capture for Ghidorah, and it's like 3 people sort of combined into one with motion capture suits, and they're doing the movements. So
well, you got 3 heads.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
Toby Kebbell for Kong Skull Island did the motion capture for Kong as well.
I do miss the rubber suits though. Those are actually some pretty impressive makeup stuff at some points.
Yeah, they're funny.
I have faith in this
funny.
With the way they designed
it. There's a charm to them. It's like, it's
I know. Like, funny in a good way. Like, it's not they're funny, blah blah blah. Like, funny in a good way. I appreciate them.
But I would like to see like a newer, to your point, Mr. H. Yeah, a new Titan would be pretty awesome too. Just let's see what's in the imagination of some of these because concept artists have some crazy, scary imagination.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see a new one come in. And
the Mutos were great design and great introduction as well, like original idea. So, and I have faith with, as the script was saying, with their concept artists, like, and they've proved that they can pull it off with the CGI as well and with the aesthetic. They can do it in multiple aesthetics now as well. Script like the aesthetic with Kong Skull Island with the light, you can do it in the Godzilla 2014 aesthetic, King of the Monsters, or now with this one as well with the neon lights, or even in daytime with this film is going into different locations and different aesthetics. They've proved they can do it with multiple aesthetics. So they proved they can do it. So
I'll be I just give me more legendary stuff. I'll be happy with that. So I think that about wraps it up, really. We're going good 2 hours now, sort of rounded out to the end. Unless, ladies and gents, there's anyone that wants to send a super chat question in really, really quick, please do. If there's anything you want us to quickly cover, again, please do. But you can find me over on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. H Reviews. Please do follow me on both platforms. Definitely follow me on Instagram, because if I get booted off Twitter, then I'm on Instagram. And that's probably likely to happen because I don't mince my words too much. Imperial Olympia says, I would also find it interesting if a bit more of the real world monster stories were brought into it, like Loch Ness, etc. But that's what they were doing with Leviathan. They were bringing in, and Camazotz and things like that. They're bringing in real world religious or mythological situations and going, here you go. Here's a Titan that represents that. I thought they were great. Like that Methuselah Titan, Titanus Methuselah, Scylla, it was Scylla Titan, I think it was. There's some epic ones. Well, again, thoughts, guys? Real world stuff, more monster stories, like
creatures. Like, it makes sense.
Well, like Godzilla versus Frankenstein's monster. I would pay to watch that.
just get trod on.
Yeah. It gets a legacy of Dr. Frankenstein manages to create an enlargement serum or something, and it just grows.
They could explain it in world, sort of. They could explain it in world, sort of like similar to Skull Island, or this has been hidden for ages, or this monster has been dormant for this long, or something like that. It would make sense in the world. So it'd be great to bring in sort of mythological stuff as well. But
Boa Weeb says a giant Wendigo. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That'd be epic. That'd be sick. Love to see something like that. Or Beowulf.
Also like cool. Grendel. Yeah.
Maybe they're in hiding the whole Earth. So
But that's the thing, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'd love to see them.
With the world they've
really,
established and
explore
how
it.
they've actually done it really well, they can introduce a lot. There's room for so.
Yeah. But yeah, that about wraps it up, ladies and gents. Please do check out Ellie Moses over on YouTube. So type in Ellie Moses, you'll come up with his channel. Don't subscribe if you don't like the content, because that damages the channel. But check out some of the content that he has. If you like it, subscribe. Script Doctor, it's not. Is it Script Doctor PhD or is it just Script Doctor? I thought it was just Script.
Oh, it's just Script Doctor on YouTube, but had to use the PhD on Twitter because someone else had used it. They don't even have an active Twitter account, jerks.
God, what a bitch. Check out Script Doctor's YouTube channel as well. Pitch your channels. What do you actually cover?
Well, I do analysis and reviews of film and television. I've got some Mandalorian. I have some Star Trek. Well, not some Star Trek. I got a couple of Star Treks up there. And I've also got some Batwoman, plus a couple of little essays about certain things and workings in the industry that irk me for you to put review as well. But I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, but I just keep on getting new work. So it's I got to take all I can.
Yeah, that's not a terrible position to be in.
No, it's pretty great.
And Ellie, what do you cover on your channel?
I try and do like film and commentary reviews with a little bit of a twist here and there, trying to be original. One of my main things I do is Flicks and Bricks, which is film reviews or discussions with a Lego twist, where I build a live Lego set or live build while we discuss the films. And recently I started a new series called Cinema Showdown, where we pit two films against one another in the live stream, and we do live votes and polls and then see which one prevails. And recently I had Mr. H on one where we discussed Godzilla King of the Monsters as Kong Skull Island. And then last week I did Batman 1989 Tim Burton versus Batman Begins. And funny enough, thanks to Mr. H's suggestion, we did a pre-poll for it. And
did it work out well?
Yeah, Batman Begins was superior on the pre-poll by 64%. And then Batman 1989 prevailed 7-1 in the votes.
Wow.
So
interesting.
Like, when we broke it down as a chat together, and some of the chats were recommending suggestions, I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually better. And then we broke it down into categories. Then Tim Burton's Batman trumped it. So that's every Sunday.
There's actual detective work in the Tim Burton's Batman.
Well, yeah, exactly.
On other cinema showdowns. This week we're doing Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah. So.
Well, good, excellent. So, guys, go and check out their channels. But thank you all so much for joining me here. I live stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's 9 p.m. GMT. Please do set a notification. Or just follow me over on Twitter, like I said, at Mr. H Reviews, because I do send out these a live link during the day, so you guys can sort of stay notified of it. But thanks so much.